Common mistakes that you should be avoiding in your ACCA examination. Often we have figured out that students make these small mistakes, and because of which either they are not able to complete their paper or they are not able to get that 50 and they're stuck at 48, 49. So I have made a bunch of list of mistakes that normally students make, which you should be avoiding in your ACCA examination. Stay tuned till the end to get all the tips. I am Megha Bansali, ACCA and the Indian Qualified Chartered Accountant. Just to begin with, the most important thing is to understand the requirement of the question. Now you have to decode the wordings. ACCA has also given a list of what each word means in the question. For simple example, if they are saying describe, then you need to elaborate and you need to say why something is done, why something is not done. If they are saying calculate, only calculation part is enough. If they are saying explain, then your calculation should have some explanation along with it. So please try and understand what each of these words mean and answer the question accordingly. This is available on ACCA's global website, wherein you get all these information. I've also put the link in the description below. Moving on, after you have understood what the requirement is, break down the marks. So technically do not overwrite, because if you're overwriting, you're losing on the time. So that is very important. So stick to 1 mark, 1 point is good enough. So you can then manage your answer really well. And while structuring your answer, please make sure it's broken down into small paragraph. Do not write it, do not make it too difficult for any examiner to read. Please break it down, give spacing between your answer so the presentation is also good. And yes, most important is time management. Please work on your time management, and in the examination it is important that you follow time management. So if there are 4 questions, you break it down into 45 minutes each. If 45 minutes are over, I request you to leave the question as it is and then move on to the next one, because what is happening is max is 5 marks is something that you would be missing out. But if you do not answer the next question properly, you will lose out on the entire 25-30 marks of the question. So it is better you manage your answer in time, and if you're not able to complete it, please leave it, because it will hardly make 1 or 2 marks difference, and not writing the next question properly will give you a loss of 20-30 marks. So don't do that mistake. One most important tip again for skill level student is, please do not leave your MCQs blank. You guys do not have any negative marking, so don't leave them blank. Just give it some shot, so you at least have a 1/4 probability of getting the answer right rather than 0 chance. So please don't leave your MCQ blank. Now moving on to some tips specific to subjects. So I basically teach SBR, AAA and SBL. So I have some specific subject related tips. So to start with SBR, now we know the new examination pattern requires us to prepare an Excel and link the workings to the Excel. I see that students are a little bit struggling with this part of Excel. So what my recommendation or suggestion is, in case you are writing your SBR paper and you're finding this difficult, it's okay, leave it, because it is maximum for 5 marks. At least do your working notes well, which will give you marks. So the Excel part of the question will come for 10 to 15 marks. And if you're doing your working, you will at least get 7 to 8 marks. Linking, you can skip it if you're finding it too confusing, or you could do it at the end in the examination so that you're not wasting too much time on it. So that's one suggestion with the new pattern of SBR. And please focus on ethics. These are easy scoring marks. Good 10 marks will come from your ethics. So score your ethics question really well. Again, you need to write what are your threats. You need to mention your safeguards. These are important part to be written in the ethics question. Recommendation is go for the calculative questions first, because it is easy to calculate and get marks in that. So that should be your first short question, so that you are sure of these marks. Moving on to SBL. SBL also has a change in paper pattern wherein you would get a pre-seen information. So use this information really well, study about the industry, know how the industry works, know if there are specific reporting requirements in the SBL for that industry. That will be important. Then with SBL, I often see student mugging up the models and then getting so confused in the examination as to which model to apply. Don't do that. If you are finding it too confusing, please don't apply any model. If your answer is logically right, you will still get marks. Then with SBL, there is one more factor to be considered is please understand from whose viewpoint you are writing the answer. Is it from an external consultant? Is it from the CEO? Is it from the finance director? So understand whose shoes you are in and please put in that perspective really well in the examination. Moving on to AAA, unfortunately, Advanced Audit and Assurance has the lowest pass percentage. It is mainly because of language, is what I feel. Students are not able to explain what is the actual error or what is the actual misstatement. So you need to focus on your language. You need to work well. Focus on your materiality question. It is a very scoring question because each materiality will give you 2 to 3 marks. Now how do you gain those 2 to 3 marks is half a mark you will get if you've done the materiality calculation. You do the materiality calculation wherever numbers are available, then 1 mark to state the relevant IFRS. So what is the IFRS saying and what the company has not done, and then to give a conclusion as to asset is overstated, understated, or something like that. So that will give you short 2 to 3 marks. So please focus well on your risk question. Again, moving on to ethics. Ethics, same like SBR, you have to write what is the issue, how do you safeguard it. Also, please remember to include the safeguard because there is good amount of marking for that. And then lastly, reporting question, please focus on reporting. Again, you have to talk about two things. Is the issue material and is it pervasive? And then classify it into the different audit report. So please do not forget these points. These are very important small minor points which will help you get those extra marks in your ACCA examination. For any kind of assistance around exam preparation or to make a study plan or your mock papers, you can definitely reach out to us. Contact details are given here. And guys, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our video, share it with people who are writing ACCA examination and will be benefited from this content. We'll be back with more such content. Till then, take care. See you all.